Hey y'all, it's Dee. I wanted to do some long form videos because I think when we're so absorbed in fast media these days, we kind of forget how long things actually take. And while this is pretty sped up, and it's only bits and pieces, I also think it's relaxing to sort of see someone's process and also give you guys the chance to sit there and draw along with me, even if it's just like a quick sketch for like 15 minutes or so. I thought I'd start off with my first long form video to be my process for my Pride illustration. Usually when I start a piece, I go through a couple different stages of sketches. I do my concept sketch, I refine it a little bit, and then that's usually when I then start going into line work like I am here. For this character, I wanted them to be a drag queen. I wanted them to be super comfortable with their body, give off the sort of vibe of it's the day after a long weekend of amazing performances. They're relaxed, they're living their best life, they're chilling, kind of vibes. And I also wanted to incorporate a little like fantastical feature with them being a vampire. For our second character, I wanted them to be more like a butch lesbian in contrast to our drag queen vampire. I made them more goblin-esque. As you will see, a key feature of that contrast has to do with the colors that I chose. I really wanted to sort of keep a monochromatic color scheme with the vampire focusing on reds and pinks. Whereas for the goblin, I gave her more greens and earthy tones for her color palette. For how my coloring process usually tends to go, I start off by blocking in some flat color and figuring out my overall color palette and how I want to utilize that. After that, I usually go in and select out some areas, use an airbrush and play around with opacity and blending and making sure I have a nice variety of soft and hard shadows to sort of help visually give some differences and make it all look correct, I guess. I don't usually tend to use blending modes all that often. I might here and there using color dodge or screen for when I want to make something glow, but for the most part I just end up using I pick my own colors and play around with the opacity and layering. Sometimes what I like to do with my pieces is to add a little bit of texture, so I'll tend to use either like a pencil or a chalk type brush to add some variation in with all of the smoothness. But yeah, overall, I really wanted to play around with adding in a fantastical element with having the characters be more like a vampire and a goblin type thing, to push the narrative that no matter what you look like or where you come from, you're you and that's all that matters. And I mean, I do tend to add fantastical elements to a lot of my pieces, just in general, but I really wanted to incorporate that with this one specifically. I feel like in this day and age with the internet and feeling like you have 1,000 eyes on you at all times, it's very hard to remember who you are versus what you think you need to be. And I really wanted to sort of bring that out in this piece, that like, it's okay to be you, and it's okay to love who you want to love, and you're perfect the way you are, flaws and all. I also really wanted to push myself as an artist with this piece. I do tend to struggle with anatomy and where things are placed and how they lay on the body, specifically body weight wise, and how it changes depending on the type of body shape or the weight of the person. And I think I did pretty good with this. This was like one of my first times drawing a plus size character and really like honing in on it and trying to get it as accurate as possible. Thank you to the people who did help me and like give me some tips and tricks here and there. There's still a lot to improve, but I think this was a really good start with that. And one of the next times I go and try something new, it will probably be working on backgrounds, but that's totally okay. That's a future me problem. Along with body types, I also wanted to figure out how to emulate a sheer fabric digitally. I sort of know how to traditionally with paints, but digital art is sort of new for me, and I'm still trying to figure out how to render my work and make it like what I can do traditionally. And I think I did struggle a little bit with making sure I got the highlights and the shadows correct and using layers to make sure that it all looks right. But I think in the end it reads as though it's like a sheer mesh kind of fabric, and I'm really happy with how it came out. Anyways, I'll stop rambling here. Thank you for watching the video if you've gotten this far. Stay tuned for the little time lapse that I posted at the end of this video. And yeah, feel free to give me any critiques, comments, suggestions, overall thoughts, concerns, feelings in the comment section below. Please like and feel free to subscribe if you want. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye!